You know, 22 days of tabloids and covers, and it was
Why do you
ridiculous.
think?
I don't know. I mean, perhaps you can tell me. I was surprised. I really underestimated what this thing would be in terms of how it ended up.
Knowing that now, is there anything you could have done differently?
Probably not. I mean, the press puts an article on the front page, whether it's the New York Post or the Daily News or whatever newspaper it might be, and if it sells, and all of a sudden they notice that day they sold more newspapers, they're going to do it again, and they're going to do it again. The problem is, and I thought I knew a lot about the press. Nobody controls the press, and only a fool would say they do. But I thought I knew a lot. I thought I understood the press, and I really realized that I didn't. The press is very dishonest, Larry. I mean, they'll say things and I'm not talking in all instances, but I'm saying much of the press. I've been quoted in various articles where I never spoke to people. I mean, they just make up a quote. Donald Trump said this, and he said that. I never even spoke to the people. There was one tabloid that came out with a headline, and I had somebody call up on the headline to say it wasn't true. And they said, well, we knew it wasn't true, but we didn't, and the reason we didn't call Mr. Trump is that if we called him and he would have denied it, we would have been in worse shape than we are, even knowing it's not so. But we needed that headline.
They actually said that?
Yeah, they actually told that to a friend of mine who was close to the man who runs the paper. And I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe how dishonest they are. When people read the papers, I mean, I just hope they understand it. Well, suing is very difficult nowadays. I mean, with libel laws, you know that, I'm sure, as well as anybody in the world.
Especially in your position. You got to prove malicious intent.
Well, you really do. And I look at things, and I do watch, and I do look, because I'd love to grab some of these guys. I really would. I really want them to make a mistake, because I really would like to do it. Not because I'm a suer, but I would really love to be able to knock a couple of them out.
So how about a blatant lie, isn't it?
Well, I'm looking at things just to do it for the good of everybody. I mean, I watched Carol Burnett. I have great respect for the job she did. She went after the National Enquirer. She won. I had great respect for that. I don't know. Probably in the end, she paid more to the lawyers and she won. I don't know. But it was a great thing she did. She did a service.
Okay. Let's discuss why it wasn't just another story. Obviously, it had another woman involved, correct?
Well, they had a lot of other women involved. And it was so blatantly false, the way it was built up, whether it's Marla Maples or all of the others. I mean, I'll give you an example, Peggy Fleming. Peggy Fleming is a woman that ice skates at one of our hotels. I met her once or twice, and the worst part, she's married. There was never anything with Peggy Fleming. She's a wonderful woman. But they put Peggy Fleming and Catherine Oxenberg. Somebody said, they had Robin Givens, okay? Robin Givens. Only a madman would mess around with Robin Givens. I mean, Mike Tyson would not understand. You wouldn't be able to say, listen, Mike, I just want to take it easy. You'll understand. Don't worry about it, Mike. You'd have to be a madman.
But the Maples thing they ran with, and that was a relationship. Now, that also, by the way...
Well, you don't know that it was a relationship, Larry. I mean, people think it was a relationship. And I don't talk about relationships. I don't talk about the personal aspects of it. And they go with lies to an extent that I've never seen before. They make up stories. And I'm amazed. I'm amazed that the press is allowed to get away with it, but they obviously do.
Okay, but when a story runs like that, you could have diffused it by coming forward and saying, I've had this relationship and it's continuing, I didn't have it.
The thing is, I don't talk about the personal. I've never had to talk about it before, and unfortunately, this situation, and I don't know when I say unfortunately, it is unfortunate because I say divorce is a negative, it's a bad thing. I don't like it. My parents are married for over 50 years. I don't like the concept of divorce. But sometimes it becomes necessary. Sometimes you just grow apart, and you do. I mean, that's the term. You grow apart. And a lot of people should be getting divorced. A lot of people should be doing it, but they don't do it because they don't make the move. I was just amazed at the inaccuracy of
also the amount of money involved, right? Wouldn't you say, if you were an editor of a paper, you're the editor. This is a story, isn't it? Big story?
Well, it's a story if it sells. In other words, when they put you on the headline and they sell more papers, then if I'm the editor, I guess I have to go with it again, until such day as it no longer sells. I mean, I came out the same day as Mandela, and nobody knew that Mandela existed, especially in New York, and that's unfortunate and unfair in many respects. It is crazy. It's ridiculous. But that was the exact same timing. And he's probably calling up, who is this guy? He blew me off the front page. But the fact is, what happened is just overreaction. It's overreaction.
Donald Trump's our guest. We've got lots to talk about, and we'll get into it right after this.